Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, it's your host, Matt Morgan. How's everybody doing today? Anyways, you're listening to Car Musings, another wonderful episode. Hey, before I get started, how was your integrity today? How are you doing? If you get an opportunity, please check out themadmorgan.com. Yes, themadmorgan.com. Anyways, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. And again, thank you again for tuning into Car Musings. And this is kind of like a double recording today because I did one earlier. Um, but I got kind of more on my mind to share with you. So, I mean, technically you're listening, it was the previous episode, but, anyways, to give you an idea, what are we? We're June something. June 9th, 10th? I don't know. Oh, no, July. Whoa, hang on a second. No, July 8th, interestingly enough. And I know probably some people are sitting there going, why are these all these recordings like so off in date? Let me tell you why they're off in date. They are off in date because um, I don't do dailies. I don't have the time for that, and I just record. When I get the muse. And I figured once a week's not enough because too many episodes. So I figured twice a week. We might even get closer to being in sync with the days, depending on, time allowing and everything else. But right now, I release them twice a week. And yes, they're a little bit of a few weeks off, sometimes a month off. But you know what? It's still getting out there. And hopefully it's thought provoking, interesting, amusing, entertaining, all that fun stuff for you, and makes it worth your while. That's the plan, right? Either provoking the thoughts or making you smile, trying to make the world better one step at a time, even getting you to think a little different, maybe even educating you. That's what we're here for. That's, actually, maybe that's today's episode. Just basically explaining what it is that we do. What is the point of Mad Morgan, right? Because I know some people have, that question, what's the point of all this? It's an exchange of thoughts and ideas and trying to either put a smile on your face by entertaining you because of the absolute absurd, or maybe it's actually making you think a different point of view. Maybe it's help making you grow as a person. Maybe it's just informing you as to stuff that's right in your face and you're oblivious to. I mean, it could be a million and one different directions, but I, frankly, myself personally, look at myself as a pretty stable headed, logical, integrity driven person who's very generous, considerate, logical, analytical, all that fun stuff. And it's to my own demise at times because I have a tendency to, put others out before me versus, where I should be more selfish. I have a tendency to not be because if you want to lead, you got to lead by example. So if you want to make a change and basically encourage other people to be better, you have to be better yourself. There is a certain level of tolerance because of, you sit there and you scratch your head wondering why people are so ignorant and arrogant, why people are the way that they are, why they make the decisions that they make, because you really don't know. But if you don't speak out about it, like I have some people that come to me and they're like, "Oh, why don't you mind your own business? Oh, it doesn't concern you, don't get involved." All this bullshit. Well, you know what? It's a domino effect, my friends. Everything that somebody does affects other people in one way or another. You have to really get your head out of your ass and realize that. You're not in this planet by yourself. You're not in this world by yourself. You share it with, I don't know, last count, 8 billion people. So you're not in this by yourself. So yes, everybody's actions affects everybody else. Minding your own business, well, hell, everybody else's business is your business as well. So you have to really think about that one. You can't just wave your hands up in the air and go, oh, no, 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 no. That's their business. That's not my business. I shouldn't get involved in their business. Believe it or not, everybody's business is intertwined. So you really have to keep that in mind. Everybody's business so it has nothing to do my business, your business, all that bullshit. The reality is that everything that's going on in this planet is everybody's business. Okay? And it's not that I want to be a nosy Karen or Chad or Kevin or whatever the kids call it these days. But it is true. You pretty much, everybody, in some way, in some levels of respects, all interacts with everybody else. And everybody's business is everybody's business, intertwined. So don't tell me it's none of your business. It is. Because your stupidity, or your generosity, or your smartness, or your selfishness, I mean, everything does affect other people around you. So let's not kid yourself and try to make some bullshit excuse while you can get away with bad behavior because that's your business. Okay? So what's the function of what I do? What's the function of why we're here? Why do you run this podcast? Why do you have the website? Why? I'm telling you, the reason is to make a positive change, to make the world a better place, to try to actually do that. Like, if you're sitting back and you're expecting everybody else to figure it out, well, that's just wrong, because that's not the way it works. Not everybody else is going to be able to figure it out, okay? There's no freaking guy coming in a freaking cape, wearing freaking leotards that's going to be the savior of everything like Superman or a superhero, okay? You have to be your own superhero. You have to make the changes. You have to do whatever you can to make the world better, because it's just sit back on your hands and not do anything and, oh, well, let somebody else figure it out. Well, if everybody else is sitting back waiting for somebody else to figure it out, nothing's going to get figured out. And we're not going to make any progress, and we're not going to make any change. You see how that works? It's pretty simple, right? So you pretty much have to grab the bull by the horns. You pretty much have to make the changes. You have to spread the message. You have to get engaged. You have to be the one that does this. Because as I said, you can't just expect somebody else to figure it out, because everybody's doing the same thing. Oh, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. But no one's figuring it out. No one's doing anything until somebody steps up and does something. And hence, that is why you get the Mad Morgans of the world. Because that is what we're here to do. We are here to make a change. We are here to try to make a difference. Not for fame, not for fortune, but to spread a message and encouragement and entertain, enlighten a lot of different areas to try to make that change. Change takes a step. You have to make it in the right direction, and you have to do it sometimes in subtle nudges to get it through to people. So people are ignorant in the fact that they don't realize that they're part of the problem. People don't realize their behaviors and how it impacts everybody else. It's a domino effect. I have some asshole on my tail end right now who's being an aggressive prick. I want to just fucking tell him right off. I want to smack him across the head and say, what the hell are you doing? Stop that. Because you're really hurting my mojo, my rhythm, my positivity, my, peace of mind, because you decide that you're in a rush and you want to be a dick. Just as an example of domino effect. This is a perfect example of domino effect. How one person's actions and attitude influences other people. People might say, oh, well, you're just being super sensitive. You're just overreacting. You're just this, you're just that. So you're making excuses for the bully in the room because you're not even part of it, but if you were the victim of it, you might feel a little bit different, right? You might feel a little bit different. If you were the one that was on the receiving end of that, you might feel a lot different. But this is why I make a point, and we as a team, because I do have a few people that help me out with this, make the efforts that we do, because we want to get the message out there. We want to make the positive change. We want to actually influence people to realize how it's all interconnected, how your actions, your words, everything else you do affects everybody as well. It's not just your little bubble, it's everybody's bubble. So for you to bury your head in the sand and think, oh, it's okay. No, it's not. And this is why you got to make the change. Anyway, so that's why we're here. Don't hinder our progress unless you're going to step up and do something positive. Either step up or shut up. That's basically it. If somebody wants to get us off the air, fine. Then replace me with a better positive message. Replace the efforts being made with something better. I encourage you to do so, by all means. I will step down if you could provide me something that's more positive, more influential for today's generation and the generations moving forward. Absolutely. I would support that 100%. Okay? That's not a problem. So, you know what? That's good. But the thing is that don't hurt the performance if, you know, if somebody is doing positive, make it a positive. You know? Make it a positive and actually make a positive change. But don't just eliminate because it's inconvenience or you don't agree or anything else unless you're willing to provide something that's actually positive in return that's actually going to benefit others than just yourself. Then great, by all means. But like I've told you, that Moses idiot, not the biblical sense, how he pulled a Karen on us and got us knocked off of one of our portals, LinkedIn, like that was a douchebag move. Why? Because he didn't agree with my comments? He didn't agree with what I posted? He didn't agree with what I had to say because he has a hard-on for Ford? Okay, fine. But leave it alone. State your piece. But why would you eliminate? You just poked the bear. Now your name's out there on the air. I'm gonna freaking tell people about you. And if I could get you canned from Ford, I'm going to, because you're a negative fly in the ointment. We don't want people like you. And the fact that you possibly have a family and kids, that's scary. Because the influence that you're going to put on the next generation, oh my God, I pity those kids. I pity those kids if you are the shining example, because you are not the most wholesome individual. So it's kind of scary that you have offspring. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's those kind of people in the world that we don't need. And those are the kind of people that, frankly, is what brings down the rest of us in the domino chain. They don't make a positive contribution. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. Be somebody that's positive. No reason for aggression. No need to be negative or aggressive or anything like that. No need to take from other people. It's a hard enough go as it is, you know. Anyways, I'm not gonna ramble on about that one. Why are we here? It is to make the positive change, and I just want to set the record straight on that. That's the whole point that I, Matt Morgan, do my podcasts. I've tried different formats, different formulas. I don't have the stellar PR team that makes me sound like I can walk on water. I don't have any of that. But I do have a message, and I do have the intent, and I do have the motivation, and I do have, a lot of other things that basically I bring to the table, which make it good. And I'm still here, still trying in a different way, any way that I possibly can. And you should too. Doesn't mean you have to have a podcast. Doesn't mean you have to, be on social media and have a website and all this stuff like that. You do it. You can do it every single day by a simple matter of just being nice to people. A nice smile, a nice, helping hand or a kind word or something like that. There's so many ways that you can go about making a positive change in this world that don't require a lot of effort, but every single bit helps. Every single bit helps. You just have to make the effort to want to actually make a better world. And that's what it comes down to. You just got to make the effort. You make the effort, awesome. That's great. because that's one step closer. It's one step closer to a better world where there is no war and there's no poverty and there's no hatred and there's no violence and there's no negativity. There's none of that stuff. So that's what you got to basically come down with, is basically make the efforts and do what needs to be done. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know? Anyways, this is where we are. This is who we are. And I hope you, you know, join us long term. And if not, then do your own little thing and make a change. So I want to move forward. I don't give up easy. I dig my heels in because, you know, I have my own history with dealing with negative people and bullies and everything else, and I'm not about to let anybody, you know, dictate what I have to deal with to make that change in the world. I don't know where the stop sign is. There's just a stop sign. Okay. So, be your own message. Go from there. And I'm going to sign off. This is going to be a short episode. I just really had to come in because I think there was some questions about, you know, what we were about and stuff like that. And I really needed to take a moment to reach out to those individuals that just don't get it because they're kind of slow and they're just kind of stupid when it comes to that kind of stuff, like the you know, the Moseses of the world, and basically explain to them, we're here for the positive. We're here to do a positive service for people, not just ourselves. Because let me tell you, I haven't seen one red cent coming back, you know, that's profitable. It's basically all, you know, paying the bills, so to speak. On occasion, I'll get little tastes, but the rest of it's all coming out of my own pocket. And as you know, I'm still looking for something steady as far as employment goes. So that's a lot more expensive than you realize. So don't be a Moses dickhead, and just be the best you can be. That's all I'm going to say on that note. Next to that, I hope your integrity is in check. I hope you're doing well. And I will sign off for now. I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Be well, be kind to each other. Please check out themadmorgan.com. And yeah, I will see you on next episode. All right, bye for now.